Hello everybody, Hellcracks here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode, 297 I think it is. And today we're going to be talking about the Bushwacker 55-ton mech. It's a 580, has XL engines, yep, and it has 11 double heat sinks. 161 points of armor, 9 tons of ferrofibrous armor, which is about a 1.5 ton short of maximum. And it does have a plethora of weapons. Now, we have an AC-10 with in the right arm with a ton of ammo in the right torso. It has an LRM-5 in the left arm. An ER large laser in the center torso. Alrighty. It has a machine gun in the right torso, machine gun in the left torso, some ammo in the right torso. We have case in the right and left torso, so 2 thumbs up there. And then we have an LRM-5 in the left torso with a ton of ammo. So it has a plethora of weapon systems to kind of try to make itself a jack of all trades and master of none. I do have a Bushwacker because it's the iconic mech that's on the front cover of the 58 book, the 3058 book that is. And it's like, as soon as I see it, hey, that's a cool looking mech, I got to get that. So when it first came out, I got it. And then the games we ever played with it, this thing just dies horribly. Just put it bluntly, it dies horribly. It does have a good enough amount of armor on board to keep it alive for a while, but all it takes is just taking out a torso and it's done dinner because of those XL engines. So, yeah, you'll kind of learn after the first few games, is like, okay, this thing does not get close. It has to stay out at range. And kind of use itself as a fire support system, even though you have to stay within 15 to be able to use that AC-10. Even though the large laser goes out to 19, you usually spend most of your time in the 12 to 15 range to keep it alive, at least from my experience. Because I can guarantee it, in all the games I ever play, we play large games. We don't play lance on lance. It's just like most of our games are company on company plus, type of games where it's like, oh yeah, I know that mech has XL engines, and everybody in the entire company fires on it in one turn, and it just turns it into an incandescent glowing pile of scrap. And a lot of times it's like, okay, you took a couple, maybe 2 AC, or an AC-10 or a PPC or something into the torso, and she's toast. Along with a little bit of extra weapons like from LRMs. Now, speaking of the armor, the right torso does have 22 points of armor with 13 internal structure. So it does take a little bit of damage. It can handle a couple AC-10s or PP, standard inner sphere PPCs or ER PPCs from the inner sphere. A couple clan ERPPCs, and well, it's most likely it's toast as you got inside. You just hope that they roll very low when they're good at doing their crit rolls. Never guarantee that though. But with the weapons loadout, typically before the advent of this thing called smoke rounds, a lot of times it's like you got the 2 LRMs on board this thing, and then you got the AC-10 and the ER large laser. It just stayed out at range. You're using your 10-point hitter, your 8-point hitter, just kind of try to strip some armor off, and then your 2 LRMs are your kind of your crit hunters, because average damage you get with an LRM-5 is 3 points damage. That's about the average number from my years of experience. So I'd always equate that as kind of a supersized Big Mac style SRM hit from this. You get a couple 2-point shots. Now there come 3s on average. Sometimes you get a 4. You get a bonus. And on a great occasion, you do get 5. But always bank on just a 3-hitter. So being a 5.8 mover in the 3058 era, that still equates to roughly being a 4.6 mover. So you got to stay out at range, or if you can, the best thing that could ever happen to this mech is if you find some place where you got some heavy woods, where you just park it in there and not have to move, and then use it as a fire base where you just sit there and hammer away with the weapons. And then if somebody gets close, and obviously you got the machine guns. Now, my experience is the machine guns are they're only good out to 3, and it's not that great to begin with. They're more geared towards, hey, you got to have something to take care of infantry, and there you go. Not battle infantry, but with power armor. But you're straight leg infantry or mechanized infantry running around. You hit a platoon with a few machine guns, and they'll know that you're there. Unless they're in cover or something. You see some infantry out in the open, machine guns are like, hey, here we go. We're going to tear them up. But, so, it's one of those mechs where I like to keep it off at range. Because it really, to be honest, your close-in weapon system, or you only got 2. You got the AC-10 and the large laser. It doesn't have anything else really to support it till you get in point-blank range. And then you have the machine guns, and that's really not much damage. Okay, so that is pretty much the standard version. Now there's a few other variants of this mech, which I've kind of toyed with over the years. Then we got the L1 Bushwacker. Now this basically is takes all the weapon systems off of it. So now you have an ER large laser and an LBX-20 autocannon. That's it. And you got Indo Steel. But you get rid of ferrofibrous armor instead of, replace it with standard armor. But that's I'd rather have the Indo Steel over ferrofibrous any day, because you get more tonnage saved unless you're a huge mech. But even then, a 100-ton mech, you get better savings if you're using Indo Steel, and it does make that swap. And it went to a light fusion engine, so now it's harder to kill. Now you got something that goes in and hammers away at close range. God, I forgot. I think it might have 2 tons of ammo in this thing. No, 3 tons. It's 3 tons. So you can put a couple solid in at least one cluster. It's like you get in there and you're fighting close, and you hammer away, hit them, blow some holes in them, and then you follow up with a cluster shot to go crit hunting. And let me tell you, there's nothing more fun than crit hunting with an LBX-10. It's like you hit, on an average, you get 12 hits, and you got a mech that has a whole bunch of open spots on it. Yeah, you're crit hunting big time. Those little one-pointers just go plink, 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 and it's like one of our last games that we played. We had somebody hit with an LBX-20 and hit with all 20. And I think when it was all said and done, I think there was 18 crits racked up. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. A lot of experience racked up in that game. All right. Next, we have the S2 version. All right, the variant of the S2 of the Bushwacker carries the ER large laser. Okay. And then it has an LBX-10, which to me is a more logical transition. It's a lighter one by ton, and it allows you to free up 1 more ton of ammunition, so you can have 1 of each, if need be. It has a pair of SRM-4 launchers instead of your LRM-5s. So this gives it some in-close support. And then it has a anti-missile system. So an anti-missile system would have been nice. It's like if you take one of those machine guns and replace it with a anti-missile system. On the previous one, you probably have to knock off a heatsink, most likely to do it. Because if you're going in and hammering in against infantry, and if an anti-missile system might be kind of handy, especially if you're fighting SRM or LRM type troops. And if you're taking on toads, yeah, that might be handy too. But this one comes down around 1,300 battle value, this newest version. But I can get behind I'd rather have an LBX-10 instead of the standard autocannon. More versatile in my opinion. It gives you more options to go crit hunting or punch holes in if you're going to go that route with an autocannon. It's heavy, but that's the way it is. Then we have the 2SR. Alright, this one mounts a plasma rifle with ammunition in place of one of the SRM-4 launchers and the ER large laser. Alright, so plasma rifles aren't that bad, even though they have to use ammunition, but it's really, are you losing anything versus the large laser? Now you're losing a little bit of in-close crit hunting potential with the SRM-4, but typically that's 2 or 3 shot hit anyway, so and you got to use it. Those are fairly close compared to the plasma rifle. Then we have the X2 Bushwacker. Alright, this one removes the ER large laser and replaces it with an additional LRM launcher in the torso, a pair of medium pulse lasers, and one more and drops one of the double heat sinks, so it's down to 10. So yeah. The biggest problem I have with this one is that sure, you got an LRM-5 launcher, but I'd rather keep the large laser over the LRM-5 launcher. And then a pair of medium pulse lasers. Yes, it's kind of looking at the X version, just like, okay, yeah, you need a little bit more in close fire support and they're throwing inner sphere medium pulse lasers. And to me, the inner sphere medium pulse lasers are just a slight increase over, let's say, a machine gun when it comes to range. 6, yeah, okay. I'd rather have the standard, the old-fashioned medium lasers. You can have 4 of them. Put 4 inner sphere medium lasers on board. Yeah, I'd rather have that instead of the medium pulse lasers. And this comes around 1,200 battle value. So it's not one of those variants that like screams at me, I must have. No, it doesn't. Then we have the X4 version. It's counterpart to the Gauntlet. This one has Endosteel, light ferrofibrous armor, mask, and it makes it move a lot faster if need be. My experience is that every time I use mask, I lock up. And it has increase, I think it's, no, it's got this, still got the XL engine. And then we have the a plasma rifle, a ER large laser, 2 medium lasers, and a pair of MML5s. And then it carries 2 tons of plasma rifle, 2 tons of missiles, and normally 1 each of the SRM and LRM type ammo. So yeah, it comes in around 1,200 battle value. This one isn't so bad. You know, with the MMLs, you're able to take care of. You know, it's more of a versatile type system, a little heavier, but you can load it up with long range missiles, or you can short range missile type payload. So as you get close, then you just swap out to whatever you plan on using, so you can do a little more damage up close. And typically, when you, like I said, when you hit with a 5 launcher, you're going to get 3 of them, so you can do up to 9. So, yeah, not bad. It works, that type of deal. And I like the idea of having medium lasers for some help you out with, in addition to your close work. And it's one of those mechs where all your weapon systems, when you get it close, you can still use them. And you can put a burst of speed, if necessary, for a single turn with the mask and not worry too much about locking up you less than you're me, and you do every time. It's like the infamous snake eyes. Every time. Why? Why you do this to me? But that's pretty much it when it comes to the Bushwacker. Now, what I've done in the past with the Bushwacker, let me see here. I know there's a variant here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. I've dropped the AC-10 in favor of another large laser. It has 14 double heat sinks. Has 3, yes, you heard it, 3 LRM-5s with 2 tons of ammunition. So one of those deals where you can go ahead and 2 types of ammo if you want to. It's a more modern version since the advent of the smoke rounds. And then we have some medium lasers, a pair of medium lasers for in-close work. And then we have the machine guns, the typical machine gun battery. I think, was it 2 machine guns? Or no, there's still 3. Yeah, 3. You got 3 machine guns on board for taking care of. Now, I have in the past replaced it with a flamer, get rid of the machine guns in favor of a couple flamers. So then you're not worried too much about the ammunition. And it's still got case, so that's not over a big issue. But that's pretty much it. Things I've messed around with this mech, trying to figure out how to make it a little bit better. But still, it's one of those mechs where you got to sit at range and stay outside the envelope and hope they don't attract too much attention. But other than that, that's it. That's the Bushwacker in a nutshell. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share. Yes, please share, because if you made it this far, YouTube has changed things, and I have not got a new subscriber in 2 months. I went from having all kinds of subscribers to no subscribers, because they changed their analytics and they're no longer sharing my videos, so I'm no longer even being noticed. So if you want to help me out, share the videos everywhere you can and get the word out. Be the apostles of the channel for me. All right, hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Hellcracks out.